Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. This is John and Jenna from Flippin' Ain't Easy. And hopefully you guys had a good week with your sales. I can tell you it's been a pretty solid week for us here with our sales. So I can't at all complain. Good start to June. And hopefully you guys have also had pretty decent sales as well. I want to let people kind of roll in here first, but if you're with us watching the live, please do me a favor, like I always ask you to do. Please participate, comment. I try to get as many comments as I can, guys. You guys know that. Sometimes I can't get to them all, and I have to I'm behind in the show, and I have to just scroll down near the end and just catch up and try to get some of the newer folks at least mentioned in the program. So if you haven't, said hi before, drop in. I like seeing new names. It's always kind of cool to talk to new people. If you're watching us after the fact, you can't, whatever reason, can't make the live at this time. And that is our FedEx pickup, by the way. So it's funny because they're going to bring my American Bubble Boy bubble wrap, who sponsors the channel, by the way. We'll talk about sponsorships here in a minute. But if you're watching the channel after the fact, please comment down below your thoughts on anything that's discussed in the channel. But if you are with us today and you enjoy the content, you enjoy the conversation, please hit that like button. It allows us to get the word out to other resellers that we have a good channel, we have a good community, and it makes people aware that we have a pretty decent live stream every Monday and Friday. So appreciate if you do that, despite my loud dog, who really is like a cat until someone comes to the house, and then acts like a chihuahua when people even get near the house, like he's going to do something to anyone if they were to break in. He would be the first one to run away. So I think that's kind of comical. So today I wanted to chat with you about the thing that is really old news. It's really a tired subject. And it's not because I didn't have anything else to talk about. I guess I could have maybe looked into maybe talking about some things that may be better suited for a dedicated video. But what I wanted to kind of discuss is eBay is actually acknowledging a particular glitch, and they are going to be providing some seller protection as it pertains to this glitch. Now, some of you may have seen it. I didn't see it. But if you had some, maybe some previously sold inventory, you may have noticed that listing may have been back available for sale. This is something that's been going on for a long time, though, guys. It's just not anything that's been happening this last holiday weekend when we're talking about inventory that mysteriously reappears in your inventory. But more specifically, if you had like a listing that had 100 items and you've sold 90 of them, right? And what eBay went and did was, added 100 items to that inventory. So you actually had 110. So they are going through, if you had to cancel any transactions due to, being sold out, maybe they listed an item you already sold, they're going to remove your defects that's associated with that. And I think it's important to follow up. I think everyone here, whether you noticed the problem or not, should go in just to check every so often to make sure that your defect rate is low or non-existent. If you shouldn't have any defects, because your account health in the background does associate with the algorithm, and it does have an impact on where your items are placed. If eBay thinks, even if it's incorrect, if they incorrectly believe that you're a bad seller, they're going to treat your listings that way. So take it upon yourself to, take it once every 2 weeks. Just make sure your account is in order. Take 30 minutes just to make sure everything looks good. Look at your late shipment defects. You can't be over 3%. And it all hurts your account. And, so many people tell me, I lost my top rated status, or maybe even are below standard, and they just don't seem to know why. Chances are it's because they're not really in tune with their account health. So, this is just one particular glitch. I wanted to show you and talk to you about the glitch of the day, but I didn't want to just talk to you about it. I wanted to show you. So it's exactly 1 minute long. I recorded as soon as I saw this morning. I wanted to record it because sometimes seeing is believing. So I'm going to show it to you here, and we'll talk about it. So I'm just trying to do a little research on these shoes, and I go down and look at this. It has a CAPTCHA. I just want to see the item description, and it wants me to verify that I'm human. So I've got to verify that that's not a soccer field, and verify the stadiums. Isn't that ridiculous? So I do that. Okay, let me see the darn description. And okay, so it basically says it's verified that I'm human, but it still won't let me see the description. So can you imagine if your description is loaded with a bunch of useful information and your buyer still isn't able to see it? Either you're not going to get a sale, or if you do and there's some flaws in there that you're talking about, they're not going to see it, and it might lead to an INAD. So that is the glitch of the day, guys. You just can't make this stuff up. So what do you think? I thought that was somewhat comical, at least to mention, to show you the glitch of the day. And I don't intend on making this a daily thing on the live. Again, it's a worn out, tired subject. I think sometimes we even go as far as saying, you know what? I would have made $1,000 today on eBay if it weren't for the darn glitches. The purpose of bringing the glitches up whenever they happen, or even saying, hey, let me know when you see them, is so that we can have awareness. Early in the week, some of you may have thought that I overreacted when it came to a glitch that two different people, No One Design and J-Man, sent me a message by email. And they said, it was it Monday evening, I believe. And they said, hey, we're finding that the money in our balances are gone. It's just dashes. And you can glitch me out all day long, eBay, but once you start messing with my money, that's serious. Okay, so if it was anything else, I probably would have said, and I have said, like No One Design sent me something today for that matter of fact, that there's another glitch, but it didn't really have anything to do with money. And my response was, well, what's tomorrow's glitch going to look like? But when you start messing with our money, now I start getting concerned. So I wanted to get out in front of it, make a video, and it's all about awareness. And as soon as it was made aware, it was like right when I launched the video, it seems like eBay fixed the problem. And so I gave it a little time, maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half before I pulled the video down. Someone had a snarky remark saying, well, you're only doing it for the views. Excuse me. But it's not about the views. It's about getting the word out. Not everyone has time to do what some of us can do. I mean, I'm doing this all day long. There's other people like James from My Boring Reseller Life. That's what we do. So notifying the community, I think, is sort of an obligation at this point. And as soon as, it was known that it's not a thing, I know that video would have blew up. I'm telling you right now, that video would have blew up, but that's not what we're about. We put out a little posts explaining, why we took the video down, and along with a little poll, because I think some of you got kind of upset that I put that video out so fast. So I think about 75% of you said, put it out as soon as you find out. It's like, I guess some of you expect or really want us to maybe sleep on it. But, I think sometimes these glitches, they occur, and maybe the folks at eBay don't even know it's happening. So if we keep our mouth shut and just hope that the system takes care of itself, I don't think that's doing any service to anyone. So hopefully you guys don't think of this channel as maybe the way I like to think of other channels that are only into it for the money. It's certainly never been that way. This channel is sort of evolving. It is a business, guys. I do make money on YouTube, but my intention is to never make it from you. I'm never going to come out and say, give me your money. I feel bad when that happens on other channels, because your money is important. We're all here to try to make money. And I'd rather see you invest that money into product, or something that's going to help you, like a scale or, better photos, maybe a better camera, maybe a setup where you can do your photos. You got a lot of people have been doing this for a long time and don't have everything that you really could use to really thrive as a reseller for whatever reason. And I don't want to take your money. And so we do have sponsors like, like there's American Bubble Boy, there's Prime Lister. We're actually talking about taking on another sponsor here very soon, but it's never going to be a sponsor. If I don't use their product, I won't sponsor them. In fact, this sponsor, I had to tell him, look, you may have a good product and it's the type of product I use, but you're going to have to send me some product to try out, because if I don't use your product, I'm not going to endorse you. It's my reputation. If you guys go out and buy or use this product and it's not up to what I say it is, how does that make me look? And another thing also on these sponsors, we ain't making a killing. I've been talking with a bunch of creators, content creators here and there. And I'll just give you an example. It's a very small amount. Like on American Bubble Boy, you sign up, use the affiliate link down below. I get like $5, guys. And that's not a lie or an exaggeration. No upfront fees for even talking about American Bubble Boy. But I've been talking about American Bubble Boy bubble wrap before they even, contacted me. So, it's just trying to be transparent with you guys about what we do. I feel like it's the same as reselling. You're going to try to maximize your time and make as much as you can, but I'm going to do it on the sponsor side. And I'm not going to ask you to sign up for a Patreon. I'm not going to ask you to sign up for my my course, which I think it's like telling the people, and I've said this before, you're going to get maybe my second or third best information, but my best information I'm going to save for the paid services. And I think because I'm outspoken about it, I think I've actually, there's another channel that I used to frequent and talk to quite a bit. They're not even talking to me because of my stance. I believe it's because of my stance on that issue. And it is what it is, but it almost comes off as like high school games. We're here as adults to try to help each other. We're here as a community, and I just don't want to see people get fleeced. That's all. And I'm certainly not going to be one to do it. So that's where I stand. Hopefully you guys can respect that. And going forward, even if we have 100,000, subs, we're going to be very careful about the extra stuff like sponsors and stuff that we bring to you. And I know that you guys didn't tune in to hear about my talk about sponsors and stuff, but I just want you to know that that's kind of where we're at and how we feel. And that's our stance on it. So, all right. So now that I'm off my soapbox today and I've talked about, and by the way, the glitches aren't meant to complain. They're just simply to make you aware. So we may talk about them in the future, but I'd really like to move away from it. Just know it's eBay's way to make you laugh at this point. You get up in the morning, maybe
I could find another way to make myself laugh.
Yeah,
I don't need eBay to participate.
It's at this point, it's a comedy show. It's like, I get through and I've already have to sign in and play with the little CAPTCHA thing saying that, well, find a castle, find the unicorn or whatever they want to throw my way. And then to show an item description, I'm just trying to do some product research. How did this person describe this item? And it's like CAPTCHA, like, okay. And then when I successfully complete the CAPTCHA, it's like, okay, well, you're stuck. So I don't know if anyone's seen that, but I thought it was funny to share. I know Biscuit Butts sort of here and there. He's actually out running errands, but what's up, FAE crew? I beat Ricky and Prosser and PTS today. You guys were pretty early. We have Leonard Kostakowski. How you doing, Leonard? That Stranger's here with us. We have Brian H. Our buddy Mike. Oops, I'll do this one. Hi all, how's everyone doing? Great, Mike. Hopefully your sales are good. Jackie says, we got a question here. Question for anyone. I opened a store the other day with a stupid name. Why, I don't know. Probably will cost me a month then I make. Can I change the name or does it matter? Okay, it doesn't matter. Now, if you sell maybe in a niche, right? Maybe you've built a business and people remember you for that name. But if you've just opened a store, chances you don't have the repeat customers anyway. It just really doesn't matter. Whether it's, like that stupid name I put together, Homies Depot, which was reselling. It was at the time when I was doing the drop shipping of Home Depot goods. I just thought it fit, right? Homies Depot. But sometimes you got to do things to like crack yourself up and make you laugh every time you log into eBay, and that's kind of what it was about. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just go with something that you can remember. Something that goes. If you can, come up with something that goes with what you're selling. If you want, but it just really
just make it fun.
And I know that
just make it fun.
Yeah, and I know that there's a period of time they give you where you can't change it, I believe. So just as soon as you can change it, between now and then, just think of a name that you like, and then once you can change it, then change it. Victor says, "Hey everyone, have an enjoyable weekend." Yes, have an enjoyable weekend, guys. Hopefully the weather's good now where everyone's at. We're in the swing of things, getting past spring and getting into the summer. Picky Ricky's grubbing down on a barbecue meat feast stuffed crust pizza with a log of garlic bread in the oven.
Wow.
There you go. He's probably eating it right now as I speak. Flipping Con Marco says, "Hey FAA fam, hi John and Jen and everyone else. Hoping everyone had a great week. Sales have been slower than molasses in an igloo." So yeah, I wish I had an answer. I mean, the answer, and this is funny. There's another channel that is out there, and I think they watched the live stream because they had a live of their own this week, and I guess because I mentioned summer slowdown on Monday, they thought that it was me just saying that's the reason why there's no sales, and that's not what I said. In fact, I told you guys I'm having good sales, but historically you can't. And by the way, the same channel talked about 2 weeks prior how they thought the summer slowdown was early, but yet now it's an excuse. But I'll tell you this. This show is about facts. The facts are that in the summer, historically, it's slower. It doesn't matter, if we're talking 2008, doesn't matter if we're talking 2012, 2015, it's the same thing. But there are some people who sell more than others. I am finding that the stuff that I'm selling is this is hopefully the case, summer proof. And some of your items out there, some of the things you're selling aren't. And you really need to, and this is the thing I mentioned on Monday. If your sales are slow, you need to take a long and hard look at what you're selling. Chances are you're selling long tooth items that just may have more success in the spring and the fall, and you're more affected by a summer slowdown than the stuff that I'm selling. Had another, quality tell you on eBay here, and I don't say this as a brag. I don't think this is at all a brag, because I want to be up there even higher. I think there's channels that are watching this show right now that are selling better than I am. But, on Sunday, I had a $450 day, Monday, $630, Tuesday, $363, Wednesday, $474, Thursday, $535. And today we're at a little over $100. So we still have a little bit of time to bring that number up today. But, it's the things that I'm selling are doing better right now than what I was selling at the beginning part of May. So it just, you got to find the right stuff, guys. And hopefully Flipping Con Marco, go to the next time you go to a yard sale, next time you go to where you're buying, think of, I've got enough of this stuff, okay, that's not selling. And heck, I even do that right now. There's things that are long tail that are in my store that it's like, I see this stuff all the time, but it's in my store and I'm not moving it. Why am I adding more to it? So it's time to look for more stuff or different stuff. And that's why I think sometimes if you're in a niche and you get into a period in a rut where you're not making sales, you're in a kind of a mode like, what do I do now? Because that means you're going to have to break from your niche to improve your sales. And I think some people are so dedicated to their niche that when times get tough, they just don't want to move to another product. Maybe if you have a niche and you're in that situation, open another store with anything and everything that sells, unless you're doing this as a hobby and you don't care about the money you're making. But I think for most of us, what we're here for, why you're watching YouTube content in the first place, is because you want to find ways to not increase your impressions, not to increase your page views, not to increase anything, but how much money you're making. And I think the answer lies first and foremost with your sourcing. How much are you getting it for, and what are you buying? Those are the two things. And if you're striking out when it comes to that, everything else is going to be a I don't want to say a fail, but it's going to be a more difficult path to success. Here I am screwing around with my mouse. More difficult path to success than if you just are willing to, like I say, get uncomfortable and start selling things that are selling, and stop passing those things up when you have a chance to buy them. Jovial Juggler says, "Hey FAA fam, happy National Rotisserie Chicken Day."
No, you know what today is?
And
I thought of you, Jovial.
Disappointed.
Thought of you.
Very disappointed.
Happy National Donut Day.
Yes. And I was going to go and get some donuts and have like one on the show to celebrate. But we were at Costco the other day. We bought all these muffins, and it's like, no, I can't buy donuts and have muffins. I mean, I'm trying to keep this like physique really nice and, presentable for the show. And donuts are just out of the question. So got to give you guys a laugh at some point, right? Let's see if I can get some new folks. Unicorn Museum says, "Hey all, hope everyone is well. I got my single sad $13 sale for today, but I have someone on the line for a true unicorn comps, but 0 others for sale. So we'll hit the like with fingers crossed." Yes, hit that like button. Hit that like button, guys. Get your sale. You get a sale within 24 hours. I just don't know how it works. I mean, I'm always amazed when I say that, and then as we go through the show, people are like, "Yeah, I hit the button and got the sale." You know what? Why not hit the like button, guys? And it's the least that we ask, right?
It works.
Let's see. We have No Designs says, "Hey John and Jenna from above Lakeland, Florida." I haven't seen Kevin yet. Ryan Lab says, Sup. What's up with you? Mark Sedek says, "Hi all. There must be something going on with eBay search and servers in Canada. I have not had one sale all week. This has never happened to me in 15 years selling on eBay. Called them, no help. I'm pissed."
Ooh.
So, yeah. What do you do when that happens? My other store, our other secondary store where we sell a little of everything, has been slow. And that's, I think, partially because we haven't given it the love, the time, attention. We haven't taken it to the park.
I love every day.
Yeah, well, it's not happy still. It got happy a little bit today. I'm going to add some more higher ASP stuff to it.
Yeah.
And as soon as I started adding some higher ASP stuff, instead of putting it all on my main account, put a little bit here and there on the secondary account. We sold, what was it? The military jacket, right?
Yes.
It was like for $50. Yeah.
So,
we got Mike.
Aww.
So thank you, Mike. Says, "Doing good, John. Sales for my Vegas haul just passed $1,000.
Woo!
Wow,
Yeah.
Want to share the wealth with my host. Also grateful to Biscuit Butt for the suitcase. I would send him a super chat also if he had an active channel. Well, guess
he
what?
has a channel, but it's sure not active.
Yeah, but hey, thank you, Mike. I appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, Mike.
It's a awesome thing. When like Mike came out, we spent like the day doing yard sales, and we all found good stuff. That was a fun thing. We all found good stuff, and he had Archie Biscuit Butt help him send some of it home. Got him a suitcase for him, and he sent it home with him, and he made $1,000. I don't think he spent a whole lot. So that's even better. When you're buying low and selling high, that's the ticket right there. So, and yard sales in Las Vegas are kicking. I don't know what part of the woods you guys are at, but get out there and get your that's the first place to look, guys, and start looking at things that you do not normally mess with, and you'll be pleasantly surprised, and just don't be afraid to do it. I think getting past that hurdle is what is holding a lot of people back. But as far as, like the thing with Mark, I would just say, list more. I mean, it may be a server thing, but that's out of your control. You can call eBay, you can get mad at eBay, And I understand why you're mad and upset and disappointed.
Yeah, I'd be pretty pissed too.
But that usually fires me up a little bit more to get more stuff listed. Do things that you normally wouldn't do, end your items. Remember when I was suspended for one day, right, until they fixed the mistake and they unsuspended me. My items were in limbo land. And they said, oh, it's going to take 24 to 48 hours before your items get shown again. I said, forget that. I'm going to end and I'm going to sell similar. And I started getting sales that evening. So maybe that's an answer. End items, sell similar. Maybe even open a second store. Do a little research. Where are your items popping up when you search, when you're not signed in? Maybe find what's going on. It could be more than maybe it's something going on with your listings. I don't know, but the answer is usually much more than eBay related. Maybe there's a combination of it, but
I don't know. I mean, that just sounds suspicious.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a lot of people that are reporting, hey, what's sold for me over the years just isn't selling. I get crickets. I get that all the time. And just maybe it's something that is happening to you. And I hate to hear about it. And my suggestions are only because I don't know what you're doing, or just to give you ideas to maybe try some new things to get your sales going. And that's what we're doing on the other account. Again, we're adding higher ASP stuff even to that account to help kickstart the other sales. Rosie Gaines says, hi, John and Jenna. How are the sales on those new products? Hello, all. These new products, I don't think I have my price point set up. In fact, I don't think I have it set up properly.
I think something's wrong.
I haven't sold a single one. I think I've sent an offer on one to offer to Watcher, but I'm doing some research on this. And I don't think I'm popping up too high in search. So tonight I'm going to spend a little time just trying to maybe find out what the happy spot is with my pricing. Remember, if I cost average all this stuff out, I think the larger stuff I've assigned to like $1.50 cost for these. The smaller baseball cases are like 30 cents. If all in total, everything was like 60 cents a piece. But I'm adding, so I'm lowering the cost of the baseball cases since they're only selling for $5 to $10. Adding that cost into these cases, sort of cost averaging, and it gives me a lot of room. I mean, if I'm into these cases for $1.50, I'm into the boxes for like $1.25 that I bought just to ship these. Then heck, if I sell them for $10 plus shipping, I'm going to make money. I think right now I'm at like $26.99. But then I have my coupon and then the markdown sale. I think I need to be around a little under 20 if I'm being fair about it. And at the end of the day, I don't want to be shipping out 20 or 30 of these a day, adding more work than necessary. I'd be happy with selling 2 or 3 a day and, that type of thing. But we'll see. It's just a matter. Now I could say, look, they're not selling. What do I do? Call eBay. Get upset, but I'm going to find an answer because there is an answer. And the answer could be, I need to put these on Etsy, cross post these over to Mercari, right? Get another set of eyes, because when I do just a generic search, which I did before the show, for football display holders, and that's all, that's kind of what your customer is going to type in. You get a lot of stuff in here that come up. I mean, you get like stands, you get, I see mine when I do a search for best match, my listing comes up fourth on the search there. So maybe just the market, right?
And you know what I did on the other store the other day, yesterday, I think. I went through all my pricing. A lot of the pricing on some of those things are just too high, or there were some that were so low that it's like, wow, I can't believe it didn't sell. However, if you look at the comps, I could easily raise the price and still sell it. So it's almost like I feel like it's just a stagnant listing. It hasn't been really touched other than when you do the relist thing. And so I went in and I adjusted prices up and down on a lot of items, and something that I, had up there, that cup organizer thing.
Yeah, the bottle.
The bottle
Yeah.
organizer. So we've had that up there for a long time.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, because I went in and adjusted prices or whatever the case was, it sold yesterday. So check your prices. I mean, maybe they're too high, maybe they're too low. Just give it a little love and go in and edit something. And I'm sure that you'll see that you're looking at the comps and they've changed now from when you first initially listed it.
Silver Hair Stacker, thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate it. Super chats are for chumps. I don't do them.
Super chats.
Super chats are for chumps. I don't do them. Well, thank you. There are super stickers out there, so those are something that you can try if you're against super chats. But thank you. We don't expect any of that kind of stuff. It's I monetize these live streams, but we don't make a whole lot on the live streams. It ain't about that. It's just we enjoy talking shop. I can't tell you how many times, after a live, I tell Jenna, I didn't know that, and let me check into whatever was said. I learn a lot from you guys, just some of the stuff that you guys come up here and say and helping each other out. So thanks again, guys. I appreciate that.
I wanted to go back up in the very beginning of the chat. We have a new
Glenda Rundle Van Diest, new here from Iowa. Love to listen to you guys. Well, thanks for joining us. And not only she knew, she was early.
I know.
So it's like, that's awesome. I mean, if if you've really never seen the show, but yet you show up early,
hopefully she's still here.
Yeah, it's like I give up. They passed this up. So as far as this stuff here, I'm going to try other platforms. I've got plenty of it. So if someone made this suggestion, if it doesn't pan out where it's not selling fast enough, you better believe I'm going to get these things loaded in some boxes and ship these to FBA and let Amazon deal with them. But I don't want to go that route just yet. Kina is in the house. Afternoon, everyone. I'm here and tuned in, but tired, so I'm going to be quiet. Probably, maybe if you're lucky.
Yeah, right. Kina. No.
We have Ashley BL's in the house. Love your channel. I'm back again for your live. I liked your live for my sale. Hopefully you get that sale. And thank you for being here with us. I think it's really cool that you're here. Linda McBride says eBay offers 2 insurances when you ship a package. Do you know what the differences are and which one is best? So I believe it's the insurance that it's like a different company other than USPS, from what I believe. And if I can just get this thing to work properly, I can go and I have a sale that I can pretend I'm going to ship at least, and I can go into it. I sold a upgraded cast iron griddle combo for the GE stove, whatever model, for $80 plus shipping. So if I go into additional options, I can require signature delivery. Let me do US. I think it's a USPS based product. So additional liability coverage from 170. So you can add that from USPS. Now, when you click on it, it's called ship cover. Or you can do USPS's normal services. And I think USPS's insurance is a little bit more. I would rather just deal with USPS. I'm not trying to deal with any third-party companies. Remember about insurance companies, their last priority is paying anything out when there's a claim, okay? They're in the business of collecting this money. Now, being that the U.S. government is involved with the U.S. Postal Service, I've had success with claims at USPS. I'm more willing to play that card if I have to insure it. Remember, I believe they on eBay labels up to $100 is what you're insured on. So
yeah, I just don't feel that it's necessary to buy extra insurance if it's not necessary. I just feel like it's a waste of money.
Well, it's like gambling. I mean, you're basically
you're just giving it away.
Whether you do or not, you're gambling either way. You're putting that $2 out there so that your $250 item, if it comes up missing or broken, you got the coverage, right? So how often does it happen? If you send out 1,000 packages, how many claims do you actually put in over that period of time? It's not many. So that's why I'll insure
I think
something if
we
it's over a
only
certain amount.
had to use insurance like what?
If
Not
it's
even
over
not
300
even
bucks.
insurance. It
Yeah.
was just a claim that was made through UPS.
Yeah, but even that was under $100 and they covered it.
Yeah.
Like that thing that thing I told you about, it's a you ever go to the deli and you say, I want a pound of, roast beef or whatever, and they put in the baggie and they put the roast beef on the scale and they hit a few buttons. You see the weight and everything on your side and they see it on their side and it kicks out a label. Well, I have one of those picked up for like 27 bucks, 30 bucks, whatever it was. And it turns out it's like $1,000 machine. Well, that I think I have for $8.99 after my coupon kicks in or my markdown sale kicks in. And I got a lot of room in that thing and I haven't moved it yet. But if I sell it, anywhere over $600, you better believe I'm going to add insurance on that. But other than that, I'm not really looking to insure, unless it's over $300 or $400, that type of thing. We have Tommy's in the house. eBay has been great as usual. Bad day occasionally, but overall, eBay and Poshmark have been great. Yes. Poshmark for us, not so much, but I think it's because we're not getting as many things cross-posted over there.
Well, I just finally put up some new shoes on eBay, so I cross-listed them yesterday, day before, and today some more, and so hopefully that'll kick-start it for the weekend. But I have a tote of shoes that I need to clean.
Yeah, you had me put those on the table and you
I
hadn't messed
haven't
them.
touched them.
Yeah. And I think some pretty decent shoes in there too. Mm-hmm. So Sue says, hello from Indy. Love your furry doorbell.
Yeah, him's so cute.
Yeah, he's asleep. Look at him. Oh, that's Chewy.
Yeah.
That's our other dog, Chewy. And he is the sketchy one. He doesn't bark much.
Don't call him sketchy.
He's kind of sketchy.
Not sketchy.
He's sketchy.
He's high anxiety.
I'm going to do...
we're back.
Okay. Sorry about that. I was just setting up the phone
live?
To do... Yeah, I think we're live. I don't know what's going on, guys. I've had this thing hardwired to my router. Hopefully they're not playing with the internet again. But if they do, I'm going to do the hotspot here, and I will have internet from my phone going to the computer. So just if something ever happens with this broadcast, hang in there, chat away. We'll be back with a backup way of getting this thing going. So sorry about that little blip.
Supply Hut pulled the switch.
Yeah.
Roman said.
Sorry, there's no affiliation with Supply Hut. I gotta tell you guys, I ordered $200 worth of boxes, and I did some shopping. I went on Amazon. I went on Supply Hut, who doesn't sponsor this channel, by the way, and I ended up getting the best deal on Uline. And I had to pay for was it 125 boxes to be shipped from California. They offered me a 1 day, which is cool. 1 day,
Yeah,
1 day ground. Yeah, 1 day ground, $62. So I paid $200 for 125 boxes. If you think about it, it is like $1.25, $1.40 a box, something like that. It's for these things here. I want to be able to have adequate, correct size boxes when I'm shipping these out. So again, yeah, thanks, Sue, for mentioning the dogs. They're wonderful dogs. And what I was saying is that we have two different dogs with two totally different personalities, and that's very, very interesting to manage. Joy's in the house. Hi, all. Thanks for being here. We have Henri Squaw says, my only gripe is I had one not marked as immediate pay. Buy it now, slipped through, and now I am waiting for payment. Sales have been okay. Not great, but okay. Yeah, sorry to hear about the sales. I mean, I think that is the message I keep reading a lot about. And, you have power. You have power over that outcome. I really think that we can sit back and wait, or we can do something about it. And I just feel like, it's time to maybe And the message isn't to say don't spend time with your family. The message isn't to say that it's summertime, but you should be working. The message is to say, first of all, maybe buy something different, but second of all, maybe add more product that you normally do. Maybe add 2 or 3, 4 or 5 more listings to your daily routine. Get more items up. It is a numbers game sometimes, especially when you're experiencing a downfall in sales. So doing nothing is probably the worst answer. Just waiting for something to change.
Don't stop. Just keep going.
Picky Ricky says, here's a bolo. Mont Blanc pens is the holy grail. Okay. So I don't know anything about pens, so I'll look for that. I thought Mont Blanc makes cologne. Didn't they make it was cologne? Wine. No, then I won't drink it. Why work?
What is no? I'm gonna embarrass myself.
Okay, well, don't do that. Gave you a double thumbs up, one on my desktop and one on my phone.
Woo,
well, that may not translate into 2 sales, but let's hope at least gets 1. Kim Sharp says,
big one.
Yeah. Hi, John and Jenna. Happy Friday, everyone. Yes, it's happy Friday. You do get a reprieve from shipping tomorrow unless you ship, every day except for Sunday. We ship Monday through Friday. Sawtooth Outpost says, finally made a live after missing a couple of weeks. Wish YouTube notifications were better.
It's a hit or miss with the notifications on YouTube. I don't get them either, and I have them clicked. So
yeah, hit the bell, but there's options when you like a drop down that comes up when you hit the bell, and maybe that it's tied into that. So maybe you want to check into that. Andy Reno says, Andy in Indiana finally in the house. Thanks for being here, Andy. No One Design says, hey, John, I think you got some more space to the right side of the pup's bed for some more plastic boxes.
No,
we're not getting any more. It's one of those things where, yeah, I know. I wouldn't get any more if the guy said, I've got another 4 pallets for 300. It's just
we are maxed out.
Let's see. That stranger says, just got a message on eBay saying he got only 1 in a 2-pack item that I know contains 2. So what do you do in that situation? If you sent 2, there's not maybe they're combined together into 2, like they're shrink wrapped together. It's not possible for them to only receive 1. Yeah. And what it could be is that they only really wanted 1, so they're going to send it back as a return, and they get their money back, and they get to keep the item. Bottom line is that is not the condition or the item that you sent. If they send back only 1, it's not possible unless there is some tampering with the package. And if they reported, hey, this box looks like it's been opened, I only got 1 out of 2, then that might be a claim situation. No One Design 2 says, hey, Jenna, you got some lipstick stain in your shirt. Just saying.
Yes, yeah. I do.
Quit kissing your shirt. Let's see. Thrift-aholic for you all sorts. I didn't say thrift alcoholic. I do. Traffic has picked up good signs. So good. Traffic is always an indicator of sales. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get sales. It's if you're slow, one place you can look is to see, well, how's my traffic been? If my traffic's died down, that could be an indicator. But if you're getting a lot of impressions, getting a lot of page views, well, something is not attractive on your listings to that buyer. Maybe it's the price. Maybe it's the photos. If you're getting a lot of impressions and not page views. But I think a lot of us just need to do better with our listings. Not saying everyone, but our listings, there's a lot of different things that go into the listings. And, if you got a lot of page views, chances are you could have had that glitch where they're doing the CAPTCHA, but they're not able to see what you're selling. Just never know. But you got to look into what's wrong and investigate sometimes to try to figure out. And every item is going to be different. And start with the items you really feel should have already sold and move from there. Biff says, I look at my service metrics every single day. Do people not do this? I don't do it every day, but it's funny. It's you sort of tend to take that for granted when things are going well. So when things are going well, selling as expected, I'm just assuming that things are going good with the metrics, with the traffic, and I don't seem to have a care for the world. But when things start to slow down, now I start looking into what could be causing my slowdown. And like today, $100 day, probably going to change. Just hope it changes.
The day isn't over yet.
No, but it's like, okay, well, why are my items not selling? Why aren't these selling? Have they been up for a couple days?
Yeah, that I do find to be odd.
I just think we're dealing with, look, these are not along the same lines as the stuff that we're moving like hotcakes. This is like, do I really need to put my football in an acrylic holder? I'd rather have lunch today.
You do.
Yeah, I do. Well, it's not up there yet.
Did such a great job getting you one.
Yeah. So I've got to work on that. But even then, it's not a priority. I mean, I love my Mike Trout stuff and my autographed baseball. It's just sitting around waiting to be taken care of until I can get it fixed. But it's not a priority for me.
Well, I have an idea with that. I think we can take one of those baseball ones.
Don't glue it. No. I don't like that.
Why not?
I don't like that. I'd rather just go get. I'm very picky about that.
I'm going to go play golf this weekend, and I'll do some crafting.
Oh, please don't. That's an autographed Mike Trout baseball.
I'm not
going to
do anything with the ball.
Yeah, well. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Art's in the house. Hello, everyone. Thanks for being here, Art. Norman Velez says, yeah, this is what happened to me for some time. I noticed that when I end a listing and then do a sell similar, I make sure that none of the listings are zero quantity. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was a thing like a long time, like a couple of years ago. Remember, I used to have to go in and delete all the zero quantities.
Right. But there's a tab. There's a way you can turn that on and off if you have that. I don't have that on my main account set up. Roman says, Todd decided to start selling Supply Hut merchandise to make more money. Hello, everyone. We have Kenji says the balance didn't say zero, it said error.
Oh,
well, that's not good. And the silver hair says, wow, got to prove you are a human to see one of my crappy listings. I don't get it. I mean, look, it's a sign that eBay is doing something. I mean, if one day
they're always doing something.
They are, but they're doing anything that they seem to change seems to break something else, which is not uncommon.
It's a common theme for eBay.
Let's see. We got just in time flipping. Glitch as Oras Rex. Glitchosaurus Rex. Okay. Had to take a second, but Glitchosaurus Rex. And
that was first grade reading coming in clutch.
But I was using my AEIOUs very well. I haven't even gotten my course on Hooked on Phonics yet. Raul Solis says, I made it on time. Thanks for being here, Raul. Tommy says, Jen, every time he goes to make one of his videos, tell him he must have time to list and pack orders if he has time for a video. Well, I do. He does that all. I can't tell him how to divvy his time. I mean, honestly, he does a lot in a day, and he's constantly running around doing 1,000 things. And, thankfully, his phone calls have really lowered. So he does get a lot done, but then again, there's not enough hours in the day. I had to call my FedEx rep today, and that took about a good 30 to 45 minutes because I switched credit cards on my payment account. I'd rather use this card versus that card type of thing. And for whatever reason, I'm like, why am I not getting charged? And it didn't, there's money in there. It just didn't charge it. It was saying something that declined the charge. So by doing that, it totally screwed up my account because as soon as you have a decline, even though I went in and paid it and was paid up, I put my old card back because I didn't have any problems with that one. It took away all my discounts. So it tried to charge me full retail when I was running a label this morning. So I'm like, okay, great. So I had to contact my rep who was on a conference call. So he couldn't call me back right away. And we finally got it all worked out to where my discounts were back. But and speaking of him, we're probably going to do something next month. I'm going to have him on the channel. His name is Ryan. He's a manager over the Las Vegas metropolitan area. And to bring him on to maybe answer any kind of shipping questions you have that maybe you have in the industry. The guy is like a book of knowledge. And while he's not going to be here to dump on if you have a problem with, a service, he's glad to, tell you what he knows. So hopefully that is something you guys want to see, but we're looking at probably the first week of July when he comes on. Eric's in the house. eBay acts glitchy. I think eBay, I think you can change that from eBay acts glitchy to eBay is glitchy. Let's just accept it. And I think sometimes when we get upset, it's a
Call
product.
spade a spade.
It's a product of being surprised or disappointed. I think if we just start to expect when we wake up in the morning, we're going to find something that's not right. And if we don't deal with a glitch that day, it was a good day, right? So eBay is glitchy, and I think we just need to accept it, laugh about it, maybe make a little side video to share with your friends, like I did with you today, and then just move on. Picky Ricky says, when I see YouTube is the second most visited site on the net, it kind of makes you think I could make more money on the YouTubes. It isn't easy. Look, when you're first starting on YouTube, your first 1,000 subscribers, until you get to that point, you're not making anything. And then you have to have like 400 watch hours or something like that. You're not making anything. And even then, you're not making anything. It's really a little bit, maybe $100 a month when you first get started, and it kind of builds up gradually. And the time and the effort and the money you're putting into like GoPro cameras or the software to edit the stuff, equipment, just various things that you'd buy for the channel. Your time is worth something, right? Learning, when you're first learning how to use editing software, it's not easy. So I'm a lot better at editing now than I was a year and a half ago, and it takes less time now. But, back then, when it was taking more time, it's like you're saying, man, putting a lot of effort into this. And not once did I ever really regret it, because it was never about the money. It was never about the money. But now when we have sponsorship opportunities, it's no different than having an opportunity to, sell a certain item in your store. If it's going to help you make money, not at the expense of the viewer, but at the expense of either YouTube or the company that is sponsoring the product. And if the product helps the viewer, if the product is something the viewer uses and they get a discount, which is something I try to advocate for when I'm trying to set up these sponsorship deals. How can we give the viewer something for their time and clicking on the link? That's what it's about for me. Let's see. Unicorn Museum. I know John is being very serious right now, but the comments about the dog surrounded by display cases are killing me. That's funny. Tommy says 99% of buyers don't use eBay like we do, whereas in depth, also 60%ish is app, and that's growing. Glitches are rarely the problem. You know what? I almost think, and I was thinking about this today. I'm glad you brought that up, Tommy. When I was working with the railroad, the train company that takes everyone around the United States, I really don't want to put their name on here. I can tell you that we used to have, this is like, 15 years ago-ish, you have paper tickets. The old-fashioned, here's your paper ticket. And a lot of these trains we were dealing with, like in California, were unreserved, meaning you don't have to just get on. If I want to go right now, I can get on. If I want to go tomorrow, I get on. But then we went to what is called e-ticketing, where you had no ticket. And they started to say, well, if you don't get on the train you're supposed to get on, even though it's open at the time, and they changed that. Or if it was a reserve train and you get on the train you're supposed to get on, you lose your money. You can't even say, okay, well, I'll just reschedule. And people weren't used to that. Years and years of taking the train, that never happened. And the attitude was, we're going to recondition these people and their thinking to make it painful to do it this way, their old way, and to get them to seek out to do it this way and to get a different mindset. And I think that's what eBay is doing. They're trying to get people, they're trying to passively behind the scenes. I think this is just a thought, maybe make it more difficult for you to use the PC in order to get you acclimated to using the app. I don't know, just a theory. Maybe it's just simply incompetence and I'm reading into it. I don't know. But nonetheless, I think more and more people are gravitating towards the app because it's just becoming easier and easier to use than dealing with CAPTCHA here and CAPTCHA there and all that stuff. I
hate CAPTCHAs.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous. And you know what? Go ahead.
Somebody was saying to clear all your browser history, and that shouldn't work.
But that's just
clear it out.
I just did that, and the reason why I know that is because Whenever I deal with FedEx, they tell me the first thing to do, because they have issues sometimes when you log in, it doesn't log in properly, clear everything and then try it. So I was doing that. So I did like 3 times a day before I even was messing with this item, trying to list it and to do research on it. And so I know that that wasn't the issue, but who knows what it is. It's just the daily glitch of the day. Picky Ricky says, no point getting sponsored by a crypto wallet. That's about to steal all your money. No, for me, crypto opportunities went out in 2011. I had the chance to invest $100 into a bunch of this stuff called Bitcoin that was at less than $1 per coin. And boy, did I screw that up. Roman says, American Bubble Boy is the way to go. Yeah. You know, they did that video where they show the different lengths of the bubble wrap. Spoke to Joel yesterday on the phone. And I was hoping we would have it today, but he's sending out a case of, they're actually going to start selling tape, the clear shipping tape. And he's all excited about the quality. The price is going to be good. It's going to be on the site sometime next week. And so he's sending it out to say, you know, give it a try and compare it to the stuff that we buy off of Amazon.
Was he selling, or was he sending it to us?
Yep. We're getting a case.
With the bubbles?
No, it's a separate shipment.
Because we got
a box?
We have a box of something.
Can you bring it? Please? Thank you. Jenna's such a nice wife. She does all kinds of stuff for me, so I appreciate it. Yeah,
that's only because the camera's on.
Believe me, I do tell her what you know, how nice she is and the things that she does. And you know, it's one of those things where I don't give her enough credit on camera, but she does a great job for the things that she's dealing with, like migraines and stuff. You know, so I give her kudos to that. And you know, if I'm sitting here working late, a lot of times she'll do the same thing. So it's pretty cool. But I think this is. I think it's a return. Yeah. No, shipping department. Let's see. No, I think this is it. So I'm gonna. Do we have my cutter? I got my box cutter right here. Keep my handy box cutter tool just in case. So, yeah, I think this is it. And I talked to Joel yesterday, and he said, "Yeah, go ahead and mention it."
Why did they cover it up?
Well, this is how we used to ship. We used to do the poly bag, but maybe they just didn't want people to see that it was tape. I don't know. So, I'll open this thing up here real quick. Hopefully, you guys are cool with that. And it's 2.3 ml tape. And they're the 110-foot rolls from what I know of. And of course, I'm not going to be able to give you an assessment now, but it's 2.1 ml. So I believe it's a little thicker.
Isn't it so sad how we get excited for tape?
Yeah, tape. Gotta love tape.
I want to get the 3-inch tape.
2.3 mil. Actually, he sent me the 60-yard rolls. So the 60-yard is not the same as the 110, but you know, he'll have different options on the site. But the idea is
3-inch.
3-inch.
Yeah.
The width?
Paul,
I don't know if they have that.
I can't think of his name right now?
I don't know. Because you're on camera?
He peeks in every once in a while.
Are you talking about Kevin or
no.
Pete?
Pete said there is 3-inch tape that's way better.
Pete, Craigslist Hunter.
Yeah.
Something to try, but I can tell you that Joel was talking to me about how with bubble wrap, they had someone that reached out and said, hey, my mom has to cut the 12-inch rolls into 6-inch, like cut them in half for her glasses that she sells glasses. And he's like, well, why can't we do that? So he went in and I believe they offered the 6-inch rolls on the site on American Bubble Boy. So going to try these out. Thank you, Joel, for shipping these out to us. Tape is great, but this is 2.3 ml, a little thicker tape than we're used to. I think we're doing like 1.8. So
Yeah, everybody's saying 3-inch tape will change your life.
Yeah.
I need it because I use a lot.
So Joel, if you're out there watching the live stream, there you go. If you want to get in front of this, and if you don't watch this now, I'll talk to you about it later. But maybe it's a good idea to introduce that when nobody else is really selling it. And I haven't seen anything like that for sale. So I'm sure it's available on Amazon and all that, but maybe there's a market for it. Silver Hair says Roman uses Bubble Boy for pool floaties. I can see that. Anytime Picker says Todd measured all other bubble wrap that he previously bought and determined that all those companies owe him $100,000. That is kind of bad. And if you have if you're trying to get 750 square feet of bubble wrap and you only get 500, it's like, really?
Yeah, that would make me really upset.
Yeah, and it's like, how long have you been doing this to me? But of course, you have an option. Buy from companies that are going to do you right. And I don't think that they hit the 700 foot mark when the testing was done, but American Bubble Boy was certainly closer than everyone else. So, and it's something that Joel takes seriously, having the conversation with him, and it's something that they're looking into. So, how many companies can say and be proactive? This guy, I can tell you just from dealing with him, he's a top of the notch guy, and he's not like some of these companies that just let it fall on deaf ears. That's for sure.
Tommy, I hope that that's the next big purchase we do for the business.
Kim Sharp
is a wet tape.
Oh, you're talking dispenser.
The wet tape dispenser.
Yeah, I know that there's a machine.
How messy they are.
Not really.
I mean, is it going to stick all over?
No. I know that I've been introduced to maybe one or two different machines that are about $700, $800, but they measure the distances of the tape and it's all wet for you. Just put it right on, slap it on your box. It's just the paper tape, the brown paper tape. Yes, thanks, Kim, for mentioning bubble wrap. I need some more. We'll use your link. Yes. And again, if you're new to American Bubble Boy, I think your first 2 or 3 orders, we get $5. And I've accumulated, after talking about American Bubble Boy all these weeks, I've accumulated $10. So I just want you to know that I'm making a lot of money. I'm going to build I'll
be able to buy that tape dispenser soon, and maybe in 5 years.
Yeah. So there's a misconception. We're not rolling in the dough from sponsorships, that's for sure. Jerry Johnson, golf course funny. Yes. We have, just trying to get some new names here. Thriftaholic for you all sorts is them glitches need stitches.
Yes, they do.
But they're making more glitches with the stitches.
Yeah.
They're really creating Frankenstein here. No design. While the monologue ended short, is John okay? No, that was earlier when we had internet issues, but I think we're fine now. Raul says, John, did you hear about USPS ground shipping starting July 9th? I did hear about that. I'm going to dive a little deeper. I know Kevin, Commonwealth Picker, he did a video talking about that. And it just doesn't make sense if he's covering it to try to cover it. But as we get closer, I'll dive a little deeper into, what I'm seeing with that. Tommy Bernard says you could list one more item per day to alleviate the need of pushing poor products. Let's face it, only poor products need to pay people to talk about them. Well, I don't think that they're poor product. I mean, like for instance, the bubble wrap I use all the time.
No. That's not what they're talking about.
What are they talking about?
Remember, these are old conversations.
Yes.
Poor products, as in keep listing, but list better items.
Well, okay. Need to pay. Well, no, because the last thing is only poor products need to pay people to talk about them.
No. This was at 3:15.
Okay, so we'll move on. I think we were talking when I was talking about the sponsors on the channel, that kind of thing. That's when that happened, because I was talking about the sponsorships at the beginning. So yeah, it is what it is. Look, it's just the part of the business. Sometimes you do have a YouTube channel, and you look for ways to creatively make it more worth and more valuable to your time to put out the content and stuff like that. But it's never going to be in the back of the viewer. I absolutely hate the thought of that. So that'll never happen. Let's see. Anytime Picker says Tommy measured his basement with the measure wheel and determined that the builder of his house never included extra square footage. Brian H says they should do a Where's Waldo to prove that you're human. Yeah, it's like, or maybe they should do a simple math test. How many people would fail that one, right? Leonard got a Macari sale for the like. I guess that's a sale, right?
Hey, a sale's a sale.
Biff says, from a practical standpoint, it's not worth your time to drop what you're doing to make a video only to take it down later. That's what I said. No hurry. It's the thing. It's not. I don't want to leave a false impression that, hey, here he is, clickbaity. Let's get the views, right? Because I can guarantee you, someone that sees a little thing saying, my money's gone, eBay, erased my money, which is what they did. Even though it was temporary, people will be like, what is he talking about? My money is just fine. And then it makes me look like I'm just trying to get clicks. And people were actually putting comments on there and like, oh yeah, we're going to keep it up now. And it's like, no, I'm not. The plan is not to keep it up. So I think sometimes people see other channels and they see this kind of nonsense going on and they assume that that's what I'm about.
Yeah.
But I'm not about that. And it bothers me. I mean, look, you're supposed to have thick skin when you're in this business. I'm still learning to develop thicker skin. But look, I guess it's the thought in the back of your mind. You want people to like you.
Trust.
But
you want people to trust
right,
what you say.
Right. But you're not always going to get that. You're going to get skeptical people. You're going to get haters. You're going to get trolls. You're going to have to learn to deal with that. And I'm getting better, but it's still some of those things where it's like, come on, guys, what have I really done to make people feel that way? If that's the first thought that makes you type that into like a chat. I mean, nothing else in that video was useful to you except that thought. So that does not always sit well with me, but I guess this is the name of the game. Let's see. Andy says, okay, so question for everybody in the chat. I sold a memory card 29 days ago. I just had a request open that it does not work. What would you all do? So you sold it 29 days ago, but the clock starts when they receive it. So it may be that the clock still has some time on it. Now, it's up to the buyer. If they've opened a return, you have to accept the return. If they're asking you, hey, what's going on, do everything you can to assist them to try to make it work. If maybe it's user error, I know a lot of times with electronics, people tend to open returns and it works just fine because they didn't use it properly. Maybe they didn't use it. Maybe it's the device that's faulty and not the card itself. So, communicate with your buyer, show them that you want to help and offer any help you can. But if that 30-day comes and goes, it's on them to open a return. It's not for you to walk them through the process. You can tell them you're welcome to open a return if it doesn't work, but I can also try to help you too. And then just let it be on them. And maybe there's been many times I've had people contact me and we talked it out. They were going to open a return and they either forgot or they simply got it to work and they never contacted me again. So Thriftaholic for you all sorts says American Bubble Boy and Biscuit Butts. Now, wow, what's going on here? Well, Biscuit Butts, they don't give me $5 every time he calls me. I'd be a rich man if that was the case. Oh man,
we would then be really
I
rich.
would be like,
I would have had that tape machine
months
ago.
Yep. Carl Becker says, greetings. You've talked about shifting some sales to needs. In your opinion, when will wants start decreasing? I think wants have been decreasing for a while, because we've been having the same conversation. If you go back and look at some of the videos I made in November, December of 2021, I was talking about that, hey guys, sales are slower. Look, I'm not selling any of these cases right now. I think I have them reasonably priced. I actually looked and I have them for $23.99 plus shipping. They're only 3 pounds. No, they're 3 pounds. These are 3 pounds. Those basketball ones are 4 pounds. They're not expensive. So if you have a football you want to keep protected, maybe you just bought an autographed football. It's a good price, but they're not flying out the shelves like people tell me that they were going to be flying off the shelves. I'm not surprised by that. I knew that these were going to be long tail, but at the price I got them for, I mean, it's just a matter of just putting them somewhere and letting them take up space. So you might be seeing these for a while. but I didn't really take action on shifting to needs myself until February. And then I really started to look at things that more into what people need, like safety devices, or someone might need a new door for their washing machine, or maybe they are building, maybe they're doing a renovation. Like my son-in-law is doing a renovation in his bathroom. People are still doing things, and they, you know what, instead of going to Home Depot and spending $200 on that particular thing, they're going to cut corners. They're going to cut
They
costs.
want to get a deal.
Right. And so if I'm selling that, I've been selling sinks, guys, nice sinks, right? For your kitchen, different sizes. And if I'm giving you a good sink for $100 and they're selling for $300-400 at Home Depot, you can get one with probably more features than what I'm selling. And you're trying to save money on that build, what are you going to do? I just think that that's the mindset of people right now. And I think also people lose sight that, any kind of bad economy or slowdown may not be affecting them directly. What they don't see is all the people who are being affected by these things and or used to making sales, and now their sales are like Mark's, like not happening. And it gets concerning. And you got to think about those other factors. And now what do? How do you go from no sales to getting sales? And I think it's taking action. It's stop passing up the things that you pass up at yard sales and start maybe paying more attention to those items. I hate to say it because now we're going to have a lot of people stealing the stuff that I'd be buying at yard sales, but it's fine. This channel is about helping other people, not just about me. Jovial says, did anyone see the magnified pages on eBay the other night? Lasted about 15 minutes for me and was gone. eBay even said, welcome to the new improved larger screen.
Wow. Maybe they're trying to tell you something.
Well, that's, yeah, it's like, you're getting older now. I mean, I've done that on my phone. How many people have done that on their phone? You get their phone, you get the new phone, right? And you're like, wow, I can't, I think a lot of it's because of my contacts. But it's harder to see close up.
Lack of contact.
And so I will, because I don't know, but with the contacts in, it's hard for me to see up close. So I'll change my resolution. So like my texts are larger and the font's larger. I know I'm not the only one out there that does that.
That's called accessibility. That's when you get a little older and things just start to go south.
We've got 1 Foot Flipper in the house. How you doing, 1 Foot Flipper? Actually, I did go by and see your video on daily refinement. I thought that was pretty interesting. Veronica Miranda says, hello, greetings from El Paso, Texas. I'm a new seller starting in March, and I have listed 300 items. Wow. Is getting better every day for me. Yes.
Good job.
It's awesome. And, here's the thing. As you build your inventory, I'm not one to say, my model isn't to build a huge store, but there's a number of people out there who that is what works for them. And depending on what you have, if you have items that have a lot of competition, building a smaller store is not really the way to do it, I don't think, unless it's high demand. And then you can, like Tommy's store, he has like 380 listings in his store, but he makes it work because the items he's selling have higher demand than most people do. And that's how he makes it work. And he's happy with that. I'm at 250 items in my store. I'm making it work. And, that's just the thing.
It just goes to show that what we're listing is selling.
Yeah.
I mean, he tries to get over 300 and he just can't because what he's putting up is in demand and it sells.
Yeah, it's selling. So, hey, I'm happy with that. But keep going. Don't stop there. Keep going and keep going, building your store to a size that's bringing in the income that you're happy with. And then at least maintain that. Honey. I know. I love being an hour behind. Wanda Greer says, why, when your store renews, do you not get billed that month, but instead get double billed the next month? Good question. I guess I just never noticed that. John Doe says, sales were great. Memorial Day weekend have caved since. Hopefully we'll pick up tomorrow. Yeah. Let's hope. Mine have been steady. So we'll see what happened. Brian H., if you have long teeth, you require more toothpaste. I've never heard anyone talk about it like that.
It's because they were having a conversation about long teeth.
Okay. Jason Trumbull says, yeah, not sure what happening today. Sold 9 items on Thursday and only 1 today as of this post. Fridays used to be good start to the weekends, but for weeks now it's been very slow, and today no exception. Same as last week.
Yeah, our sales on Fridays usually don't happen until nighttime. So after we're off live and we've had dinner or whatever, sales start rolling in after that, which is very odd, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think for us it was like kind of an average day on Friday, and then Saturday was just like $150. That ain't nothing, right? So
you got really worried on
Saturday. Yeah, just got kind of worried, but then Sunday and Monday took off. And when I say worried, it's not worried. It's more just like it catches my attention. And I had already thought going into the weekend that it was going to be a slower weekend, but I was wrong. Pleasantly surprised that I was wrong. Lawrence wants us to send some watchers offers. Actually wants to know, can you send watchers offers? Yes. Wow. Offers to watchers. So I thought Lawrence was saying, hey, can you send some watchers my way? No, you can send offers to watchers. And the way you do it, watchers are determined by if they look at your item at least 3 times. If they click on like the little heart icon, and there's one other one that I seem to forget because I was just looking at it. Nonetheless, you need to have activity to your listing to get them to your listing to even look at it, to let alone send offers. So I think there's some people who have thousands of items and have, you know, hundreds of offers to send every morning. I think those mean nothing if you're not sending offers in a timely manner. So make sure if you get those offers, you're on top of it. No One Design says, send Archie super chat to John. I'm sure John will give it to Archie sometime this decade. Yeah, I sure will. Checks in the mail, Archie. Tommy says, he's gone. You know what doesn't work when sales are slow? Doing the same thing you've been doing the last 15 years. Yes. So what I've been saying for a long while. And I just think sometimes people think, well, I'll give it another week. I'll give it some more time. But that doesn't work, guys. You just can't keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Hey. Jay, go ahead.
Hey, Kina, I know you're trying to be quiet and all, but I need to know, can you see something near your name when you post?
What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm confused. Okay, little hidden sidebar conversation. That's not sidebar, unfortunately. Jason Blunt says, do you have videos for starting a second store? I've been thinking about having a second store for just Got Wheels and other die-cast, or Hot Wheels, I'm sure you meant to say, and other die-cast. No actual videos on that, but it's really easy. You just go in as the same way you set up your first store. You're going to have limitations. eBay is going to limit you to the number of listings, and you're just going to have to show eBay that on that account you're doing it just as well as your first one. Start small and just build up as eBay gives you more listings to work with. But it's a good way. I like having a second store because it gives me an opportunity to try things I really don't want to do on my main store. If I'm doing well on my main store, why would I try, I was talking to Archie today, actually last night, about the idea of, you know what, I'm going to go into my store. This is him talking. But go into my store and just remove my markdown sales, remove my coupons. I said, well, while you're at it, why don't you just remove your promoted rates and tell me how it works out? And so he's like, yeah, that's a good idea. So this morning he calls me, well, I did the opposite. I increased my promoted rates and I've made $900 today in sales. So I don't know. For me, having a second store allows me to try these weird things, like trying to sell larger items with free shipping. Kind of mixed on that at this point. It's probably not going to happen. No One Design says, Roman super chat funds Jenna's coffee runs because she needs all the help she can get to take down the 600-pound popcorn polisher from the top shelf. Now, let me just say this. Look, if you guys know anything about racks, right? The rack with the most clearance for large boxes is on the top. If I have a rack that doesn't hold a box that's this wide, I mean, I have no option but to put it on the top. So it's not to try to make life difficult. Kevin says, I've been getting tons of watchers lately, but no follow through. What's going on? Could it be just one person watching all my items for fun? Could be another seller.
Could be another seller.
But look, we talk about this. When are you getting to your offers? Are you working all day, coming home from work? Okay, I'll work on my eBay and I got 20 offers waiting for me. But those people could have already moved on. They could have already bought what they're looking for. So you're sending them offers that evening or hours after the fact, and they're moving on with life. They've already bought that thing from someone else. That's why I think it's very important to constantly be checking for your account overview and send offers throughout the day rather than doing them once or twice, once in the morning, once in the evening. Lawrence says, I have items that have been listed for over a year. I do not pay more than $5 for any of it. Just junk I want to get rid of. How should I go 3 to 5 plus shipping? If you haven't done so already, I would just try to put it for your cost plus shipping, maybe your cost, including eBay fees plus shipping. But if you can't get it, if you're willing to buy for 5 and the people that are looking at your item on eBay, they're not willing to buy it for 5, it may be that you're not going to sell it. You might want to get it lotted up. So take 10 of those if they're similar, and say a lot of 10 men's shirts for $50, size XL, and have the photos of all the shirts out. Be creative with it, but lotting out is an option as well. Let's see if I can get to some new folks here, because we are kind of long toothed here. Emerald Shaw says, is $45 good for cleaning someone's trash bin? Sure. I don't have any knowledge in cleaning trash bins, but I do know there's a company out here in the Vegas area that I think they charge $40. Mm-hmm. They come out and they spray it down and wash it with soap and stuff. Just depends. I mean, if you don't mind getting the grime and the dirt on you, then certainly do it yourself. Bearded PokeTuber says, acrylic display case, I'm sure, is up there. Not as many searching football display
because if you go back up on the thing, somebody said use keywords or use that one.
More generic, like clear display box. People can use them for action figures, etc. So something to try.
An option.
See, you get good advice on these shows.
See, you guys are so smart.
Josh says, yes, get those reseller YouTubers, John. Sick of their... Well, you know what? Look, I don't have anything against these resellers that are on YouTube. I'm one of them myself. I just think sometimes it gets to a point, like, for instance, this channel has gotten to a point where we're taking on sponsors, right? So a lot of you can think, well, look at John just being like everyone else, taking on sponsors. But I draw a line. And I think there's a difference between saying to a sponsor, look, you give me an affiliate link. If the viewer can benefit from this product, and you can give them, in some cases, give them a deal and clicking on the link, right? So they're saving more money than what they would have spent anyway, and they can use the product. It's a little different, or a lot different in my eyes, than saying to you, the viewer, hey, send me $39.95 and I'm going to make it so you are so motivated to sell, and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm going to give you information that I wouldn't share with everyone else. And how does that? I think that's just kind of lousy. And I know there's a channel. I'm not going to say their name because I told you a while back I'm not going to go calling out channels. But there's a channel where, I thought we were cool. Send emails and wishing their family well. And I put 2 and 2 together why they're not replying back. And it's because I think it's some of the things that I've said that put them in their minds, without calling them out, in a bad light. And it is what it is, right? I'm not gonna try to dog another YouTube channel. More power to them. They have their fans. We have ours here. We're glad to have each and every one of you. But I just know that your interest is in my mind when I'm talking to some of these companies. John Doe bought insurance when he shipped a $500 video game. I think I would in that case. Mm-hmm. Dorothy says, random question. How long would you leave an item on eBay before giving up? A Lardo figurine. I don't know if I said that right. Lardo figurine listed since 2016. Keep changing the photos and wording. Just cannot seem to get it sold. So
have you checked? Well, this stupid question.
Wow.
Have you checked the comps? The newest comps?
And even go into Terapeak and see, has this thing even sold over the last 2 years? If it hasn't sold, check the other sites. Is it something that maybe Etsy would have? do a Google search on that. Is it even being sold anywhere on the internet? Chances are you're going to have to give up. At this point, it's long tail for sure, and that unicorn ain't coming. That unicorn buyer. Hopefully you're not into it for a whole lot. That's for sure. Let's see if I can get to some new people here. Nature Made in Utah decided to get rid of all used goods and concentrate only on new products while sourcing. New for me seems to sell better than my everything store. Yeah, I think if you're at yard sales, there's times where people buy something, they never use it. I don't care what it is. Go for it, pick it up, do a search on a comp. Selling something brand new is going to fetch you more money than something that's open or used. So it's always a good idea to look at. Noon says USPS is not great at paying up either. They want the buyer to take the item to a post office. What are the chances of that happening? Yes. So the U.S. Postal Service is assuming that whoever you're sending it to is a friend or family member, and because the buyer is like, look, it's broken. I'm filing return. You're going to give me my money back either way. I don't care if you're going to get any kind of money back. It's not my problem. And that's kind of the mindset of the world. If you go back 20 years ago, strangers were more willing to do nice things and to help other people. Thankfully, when I had my issue with UPS, when I sent that 100 CD player that had the problem, he was helpful and he was willing to help me get that claim resolved. And unfortunately, you don't see people, it's the same people who would rather, if someone's getting mugged on the street, would rather whip out their cell phone to take a video of it and send it into WorldStar than to actually help that person, right? And I think it's just the world that we live in today, unfortunately. While Worker says UPS insurance is a horrible hassle, I use ShipSaver and deny the free $100 if the item is valued over that amount. UPS no longer has a U.S. customer service. Sound familiar? And you're lucky with UPS to get a hold of a rep. You have to do stuff, online yourself, unfortunately. Let's see. Haircut McGee. That's new. Phew. I was afraid the show was ending without me being able to say hi first. Flipping is easier than live streaming. Yay. Yeah, we've had problems for some reason, but we have a plan, and that is if we ever lose the signal, we're going to jump on the Bluetooth on the phone, or actually the Wi-Fi on the phone, and do the hotspot. It's just going to take a few minutes to set it up. That's what I was doing when we came back online. Ask Scott says, with the USPS first class change, I won't be using priority mailboxes anymore. I can't bring myself to throw them out though. But don't get tempted to use them if you're not using that service. So I know that sometimes like, I can use it for UPS and maybe throw wrap on it. But if your buyer gets the item and they know better, they may say something. So I just wouldn't deal with it. Let's see. Flippicon Marco says, funny you said that. I got a catalog from Uline and decided to use them. Got a good deal on some boxes and tape. 1 day shipping. Shipping costs $15. Not bad. Yeah, it just depends on what you're buying from Uline, but they got good deals. They got some like sales on boxes. I think I bought some 12 by 12 by 12 boxes that were 89 cents a box, but that's before shipping. But it's 1 day shipping. So they're pretty fast with the shipping. Ask Scott says, question, with the big changes coming, no, I didn't read that one. With the big changes coming to USPS, with USPS Advantage replacing first class, parcel select, etc., you plan on keeping hold of white USPS boxes? I have a few white USPS boxes, but if I come to a point where I'm not going to use the priority ones, I'm just going to go take them back to the post office and just free up the space for other boxes. I've got boxes that
we have a lot of boxes.
We got boxes that I need to put on shelves that I haven't messed with yet. ABC Matt says, what's shaking, guys? Well, this desk actually once in a while. But yeah, how are you doing, Matt? No One Designs says, Roman, PTS, I'm a fanboy of Uline, but that stops when they charge me $30 or $50 for shipping, and eBay is free shipping on the same size and model boxes. Yeah. But they build that into the price of their boxes too. I think their boxes are kind of high with eBay, which is why I only use them when I get the coupons with my store. That makes it worth my while to mess with them. Backyard Mowing says, those will sit for a while, FBA for sure, but be careful and look at storage fees. Those are large. Keep that in mind for FBA. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have to look, use Keepa, that program Keepa on Amazon. It's a Google extension. It'll kind of give you a history of sales. And if I'm not seeing a history with this particular brand, remember this is new old stock. I think that this particular version of that product has been out of production for a while. It's been sitting in a warehouse. Let's see here. One Foot Flipper says impressions don't matter, sales matter. Yeah, it's all, eBay doesn't send you impressions to your bank. They send money to your bank.
That's for sure.
It's all about scoreboard. That's for sure. Jamie Kenny says, hi from New Jersey. Thanks for being here, Jamie.
Hello.
MJ Menace says, hello. Do you get complaints from potential buyers about shipping prices? I know you sell larger items. Thanks. Yes, I do. And you have to say, look, I'm passing on the shipping you're seeing is to whatever address you're having me ship the item to. So I'm passing on eBay's discount. Some people don't even do that. They don't even have it selected. They just basically pay or they charge the buyer what eBay would charge someone without a top-rated seller discount. And then they utilize their top-rated seller discount and they keep the difference. Well, I don't do that. I charge the UPS rates that are discounted. And, and I think what I do is I add $1 to the handling to cover like the cost of the box, the bubble wrap that we pay for and this, that, and the other thing. So that works, but I still get the random person once in a while, but I break it down. Look, I'm in Vegas. According to this, you're in Florida. It's going to, and this is 30 pounds. It's not going to be $10. I had a discussion with someone about that. They thought it was way too high. Of course, we didn't ship it. They didn't buy it. But you're going to have people that are comparing you to maybe someone in the state over from where they're at, and they don't understand. Because remember, a lot of these buyers think shipping is free, right? Yeah. They just don't get the concept that why are you charging for shipping when I can get it for free from the next guy? But it ain't free. Drain the Swamp says, what's going on? Shipping is easy. Shipping is easy. Mm-hmm. Shipping is easy. It just, you got to develop a routine. Make that the first thing you do in the morning or the last thing you do at night, right? That's kind of the routine we built in. Beth is in the house. Showed up late. Going to scroll back and start from the beginning. Well, how you doing, Beth? Not now, but later on in the future when you're watching this replay.
Future Beth. Because
I've answered that reply or that message quite late. Jeff Zennick says, new eBay users, chances are they are looking at eBay on their phone, not on their laptop. Yeah. They are. The world is gravitating towards small devices. I mean, the idea in 10 years of someone having a computer set up in their room doing eBay is probably going to get people to look at you sideways. That's for sure. Times are definitely changing. And one thing that's kind of making me kind of freak out is these things you hear about AI every day. Talking about AI, the simulation of, you guys saw that. I guess there was a military simulation where AI was given the task of blowing up like a missile launcher somewhere, and the AI figured out that it was being told to stop trying to attack the missile launcher. Like, okay, we're calling off the attack too much, so it turned and it attacked and killed the operator. And then this is just a simulation, so it never happened. But it's just what would happen if we allowed AI to be in charge of this kind of stuff, and it turned on the person that was giving it commands. So it's just a scary thing. And if you guys haven't noticed, if you've been on Bing, go onto a Bing search. It's built in. The AI is built in now. You could tell Bing to make a photo of someone eating ice cream, and it'll actually make a random photo, multiples of someone eating ice cream. It came up and I was like, okay, you can use AI now. So I started like playing with it. I'm like, wow, it can do all kinds of strange stuff. So the AI technology is getting more and more advanced every day. And it's kind of fun when you think about it, but it's scary long-term, I think. What are we looking for? Jonathan Rivera says, hi, John. It was nice to meet you at the Trash to Cash meetup. Yeah, nice to meet you too. I remember talking to you, and it's kind of cool to go to those things and meet new people. We're going to the Reseller, what do they call it? The Reseller rally in Cincinnati. Got everything all set up. Our flights, our
Airbnb,
and It's all ready to go, and we're looking forward to seeing anyone who's going to be there. I think it's going to be really, really cool.
I just can't wait to get out of this state for a little while.
Yeah. Scott says, well, we're going to be going to California next month just to visit family. Scott says, made me feel better when you posted that. I'm not sure what, but
your video you just did.
Behind. Southern Talk says, does the global shipping program protect you from selling items overseas that are not allowed if eBay automatically enrolls you in the program, such as we cannot sell Levi's to Europe? Yes. So what's going to end up happening? Well, what's going to end up happening is if you get an order for something like that, you're going to, if they don't catch it beforehand, you're going to sell it. You're going to send it to the eBay processing center in Illinois, and they're going to be like, oh, can't do this. They'll end up sending it back to you. And so again, you just opted in the program. You have domestic shipping set up. So that's now on eBay to make that right. And I want to hear about any time that doesn't happen. If you get slapped on the wrist or some kind of a nasty gram saying that you can't ship this to Europe, but yet it's supposed to be eBay's deal when they're determining if your item qualifies or not. Let's see. Luba says YouTube channel battles. I'm getting some popcorn. And it shouldn't be that way. Look,
no.
The goal is, if you're not here on YouTube to help somebody, what are you doing on YouTube? Why are you here? And that's the thing. That's what keeps me going, is to continue to try to help people. It's the story that I told you guys. For a year, we did this after we, moved on from our careers, and I was always helping people for 20 some odd years, and I didn't have that void. There's times like someone had a question in the video that I put out, and they had asked about, I forgot what it was. I called eBay because I wanted to know the answer to that question, and I found the answer, and I posted it as a reply. I think it was No One Design was involved in that conversation, but I forgot exactly what it was. I have a good memory, but it's short, unfortunately. Biff says there are very few needs: food, water, electricity. Almost everything else is a want. Even a new sink, unless your previous sink was stolen. Yeah, I mean, but there's different. You're right. There's different levels of needs or different levels of want, right? Sometimes people can justify their wants and turn them into needs. I'll give you an example. Happened to me last night.
You just shook the
I know.
whole table.
What it deserve a shake. I'll shake it again. I'll give you an example. I have a smoker in my backyard. I have a Blackstone grill in my backyard. I came across a really good deal on a brand new master built charcoal gravity feed smoker / grill, where you can actually get the charcoal on there and all that stuff. And I'm like, I can get this for like half price right now. And I debated, and I eventually decided not to, because I was trying to convince myself that I needed that, right? But common sense said, look, I'm sitting on a ton of pellets that won't work for this new one. So maybe go through all the pellets. And I've had this machine that I currently use, a smoker, for 4 years. And I think it'll probably last another 1 or 2. So just use it and then revisit buying whatever you want to buy later. So I think that's kind of what people do. And I was victim of that yesterday. No One Design says, hey, John, just a thought. Have you ever thought about make a pup house with the plastic boxes, just shits and giggles? Maybe to entertain you, I might do that. Yes. Jeff says, I saw the rearranged screen in which the photo looked up more of the screen. It only lasts a short time and hasn't reappeared since. Glitches are abound on eBay, guys. I think it's going to be just the norm, and you just got to laugh at them. That's for sure. One Foot Flipper says, best reason to have 2 stores is to put the long tail and bad items in one store and the good stuff in the other store. That way the stuff doesn't wreck your placement for good stuff. And that's kind of exactly what we did. Mm-hmm. But I noticed that when I start listing better items, higher ASP items on the second store, some of the crap that we're just sitting on starts to sell. It's really weird. So I'm going to start doing that, introducing some of the good stuff onto the other store as well. Let's see. Steve Poste says, here late, but here and hit like. I see Kina has a wrench now.
Just
don't throw the wrench. It's not
Tina,
good.
I can't remember who else I added as new mods.
Yeah.
Because we lost Tyler. Tyler no longer here.
Does he sell anymore?
I don't
think see
he
Prosser
does.
anymore either.
Prosser's
No, I haven't seen Prosser.
He was here
Yeah.
here on Monday or Tuesday when we did the live.
Tommy has some advice. If using the Uline set up with business EIN after an order or two, they'll give you a net 30 discount. This will build your business credit when paid. Goal is to build a business after all. I'm a sole proprietor, so I don't use a business EIN. It's like replaces your social security number. I haven't set it up there. I just sell as a sole proprietor. I use my social, and I don't think that's going to suffice for them, unfortunately. Let's see. Anytime Roman says, if you ever order bubble wrap from Uline, measure it, and it'll be shorter than actual size purchase. Just blame Tommy. Tommy's the reason for everything going wrong, unfortunately. At least in Roman's eyes. John says, hi, Jenna and John. Do you think the AI will buy my stuff if I use it and want free shipping? Yeah, AI is just a mess. Use it for things, and we're talking about how there's a button on the Android eBay app that'll make a item description for you. Use that very, very with a lot of caution, because chances are it's going to really sell your item to be better than it is, and it's going to lead you to some ads that you don't want. That's for sure. Ren Gregory says, you helped me with an answer about a return yesterday. Thanks. It was helpful. Did get a response from the buyer. The buyer is that one that has open return, not the seller. Yeah, hopefully that worked out for you. Glad to help. I'll try to answer questions when I can with the comments and stuff. I tell you to, comment down below. I mean it. I'll try to, I'll take this times Jenna's like, what are you typing? And I'm answering questions, right? And it's
not only is he long-winded, but he writes a very long answer too, and so he's over there. Yeah. And I'm like, what are you writing a book?
There's nothing worse than reaching out for help, and then the answer you get is like a curt answer, and it's like, well, what am I going to do with this? If I knew how to X, Y, and Z, like go in and change it here, right? If I knew how to get to my policies, I probably would know the answer. So I'm thorough, because in the business that we were in, I was in training. You can't just expect people to know. People ask questions because they just don't know. And you have to assume that their level of knowledge isn't where most people would know, and go from there. And that's why a lot of times if you ask me a question, chances are you're going to get a very winded answer, and it is what it is. Joshua Isabel says, my sales aren't the best either. Once in a while I get a sale. And a lot of times you get these comments, and like someone will post something, hey, I'm just not getting sales on like the forums and stuff. And you go and click on their account, because like on eBay, if someone posts something on the community forums, you can actually see their account, and they have 100 items listed. If you sell pretty much everything, chances are you're going to sell at a 1 to maybe a 1 item for every 100 to 150 items you have listed per day. And some days that means you're not going to get any sales. Some days you're going to get 2 or 3. You just have to keep building your store if you have those kind of items. And over time, you're going to get more sales. It's a numbers game, or improve the items you're selling. Ricky says, Prosser got 1 negative feedback and then got upset with eBay for not backing him. Now he likes selling face-to-face. Yeah, and the thing with negative feedback, I can see how it can be kind of bothersome, but it's not the end of the world. It used to be a bad thing 10, 15 years ago on eBay. It was like the defect you didn't want to get. But now it's just not a big deal. Put a good reply in there. Of course, try to fight it. Try to get the negative removed, but don't spend hours upon hours, and don't get upset about it. Just move on, and know that, there's not many sellers out there with 100% positive feedback. That's for sure. Let's see. Ren says he also did research. We can only put 200 characters in the live chat. Yeah. I feel like, look, if you take the time to remark on it on the video, or a comment to say, hey, I'm trying to get this resolved, chances are you need my help. And if you're spending time watching my videos, and being here in the live, the least I can do is to try to help out when I can. Can't always do it because there's times that I'm days and sometimes weeks late. I get a question I didn't see, but it's not because I'm avoiding you. I just didn't see the question. So, Carl Becker says, getting to the end. We actually are getting close to the end, guys, of this live stream, but seeing if I have anything else. And I guess before you go, hit the thumbs up before you go, guys. I think that's what you're saying. Mm-hmm. So we are getting to the end of this live stream, but like Rain missed it, but you can always watch the replay, and please do. I'd appreciate that. Guys, I got to tell you, glitches, it's an old topic. I really am I'm getting tired of it. It's actually something I laugh at now, but don't mess with my money. If it's messing with my money, then I get kind of irritated, and I want you guys to know. But if it's keep sending me information. Like if you have an email and you want to send me like, hey, I came across this glitch. I'll look at it, but I'm probably not going to act on it because it's just normal now. Unless you come across something that's really major, like, it's causing people's listings to be gone, or like a couple years ago where pictures were being, they're vanishing on clothing. Then that's something that we need to act on collectively. And when they're messing with our money, I think that's another thing. And other people are saying, hey, I'm not seeing it either. Well, I'm not going to wait 2 or 3 hours for eBay to fix it when it may not be fixed. Maybe it's isolated to maybe a third of sellers, and some people are seeing it and some aren't.
And who knows how long it's going to be gone.
And it could be a big problem, right? And maybe eBay doesn't know about it really until people start calling in. So, I'm going to let you guys know whenever I see something that's major. But if it's something that's not, I'm not going to waste your time. But I will mention it on live streams and stuff like that, just to kind of make people aware. But glitches, and you got to ignore them sometimes, but trying to navigate through the crazy thing we call eBay. It's just yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. And I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your weekend, and we will talk to you.
Have a great weekend.
We will talk to you very soon.
See you Monday.